Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, how's it going, guys? Let's see here. We have a Friday. And I should check here. Do we have any news this Friday? We do not. No, we do. We have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. This is an important number, folks. Past two of these have been pretty key. Well, I guess there's two different consumer sentiment numbers. We already had one. It wasn't necessarily the best either. My recollection is it was bad and the market reacted to it and then decided that it didn't actually care. That was my recollection. Could be wrong. We should go back and look at that. What was that other number? Oh, what's going on in here? Ah. Somebody has to be banned for spamming invites in Discord. Okay. Anyways, to the chart. Yesterday, a lot of action up here at 130, but the point of control ended up being at 129.26.5. I'm so surprised. That was a ton of volume out there. Double distribution. We, I was able to scratch it, but we got our lunch eaten yesterday, guys. That short, he just destroyed everyone. I can't believe this trend down in the afternoon. It's been like this almost every day this week. Well, it would be difficult to get below this area, but we'll see what happens. Good. I don't think that it's terribly great action, though. It's Friday. You can see it hasn't really moved much since the open. Let's go and turn on the robot. So I did a lot of stuff. Uzi says, bum bum bum. Oh, that's weird. Why is that so hard to read? It is a blue name. What the heck? Well, anyways. Yeah, so I've decided that there's just a limited number of requests, and so I requested to increase the limit. And hopefully they respond back soon. But I'm guessing that Google doesn't care and won't notice. Netflix just cut prices in Malaysia with a $4 a month plan, half the price of the previously cheapest plan. Similarly, they cut prices in India in July with a $3 a month plan, half the price. Subscriber growth, but at what price? Can you, purchase that thing for infinite requests? Well, I don't think you can get infinite requests, but I don't think that it's I don't know how it works, dude. Here's the thing, is that Google has not updated that section of their website very well. They created parts for the live, and then they kind of abandoned it. And I can even find some posts on subreddits where Google employees said, maybe we'll have something to announce on that soon, and nothing ever happens. So I think that they wanted to do something, but they just kind of disappeared. Let's see here. Let me turn on the auto read here, so it'll read for us. I think that thing is completely worthless for people with hundreds or thousands of live viewers. Requests run out in 60 seconds. Google abandoning
Michael
something.
X says Google abandoning something. I don't believe it.
Yeah, they're just a big company, and I think things get lost. Anyways, I requested more. I requested enough for us to get through the day. So we'll see if they give it. I mean, the thing is that they were giving us 10,000 requests, and I need like 90,000 requests. But the other thing to me is like, why is the limit so low? I don't think that the API was designed with the intention of pulling something like that. I think what happened was they designed the API, they put 10,000 requests, and then they said, oh, we have YouTube Live now, we need to include that in there. So they included that in there, but they didn't change anything. So then it didn't work. Nobody uses it. And so Google, of course, forgets about it because nobody bothers to go in and do the work and fix it. So then somebody says, well, we should do it as a socket. Okay, yeah, in the future, let's put that on the list that it should be a socket. And then it never gets taken care of, you know? That's probably how it happened. Justice Department to launch criminal investigation into its own Russia probe report on the Hill.
Uzi Knesset says, I wonder if you could use like Streamlabs or something with text-to-speech and just set the donation to 0.
So the Streamlabs thing, we could do that. But the Streamlab thing only does it for like subscribers and special messages and stuff. Like it only reads them out if somebody donates. I'm using, so the little widget, oh, by the way, I need to pull back up the little widget underneath of my face, that's a Streamlabs. It's a Streamlabs widget. I actually downloaded Streamlabs OBS the other day too, and what was wrong with it? Oh yeah, they don't have the little window where you can put your own dock in there, so it didn't bother using it. But that's the thing is, okay, so the way we were able to get away with it before was we were using restream. I'd rather not use the restream.
Uzi Knesset says still gonna eyeball shorts in ZB ahead of 20 to 22.
That's quite a ways up there. I mean, that would be a good long. Or are you talking about down below us? That's where, oh, you're saying that's where we're going to go. Well, I'll tell you what, there was an interesting amount of stacking in the 5-year. It's not there anymore. Did you guys see that? There's quite a bit of stacking below us. So I think in the short term, we might be moving up. But that moving up may give us a good short. Let's make sure, though. I really don't want to risk my account today. Not until consumer sentiment, at
Michael
least.
X says, when you look at stacking, how many levels do you look at?
How many levels do we look at? Well, the most important thing is if the inside level stacks, right? So if we take up and somebody stacks 1,000 on the bid, like that matters. I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down because it can still go either way, but that's unusual. That's somebody who really wants to buy, right? Now you don't know if it's going to go up or down because you don't know.
It says yeah, up above, top of this congestion range. I don't think of it in terms of getting long now because the risk to the overnight low is too high.
Gotcha. It doesn't mean that they're not going to go down because they could fill that guy and then decide to try and wash him out or something like that. But that's somebody who really wants to buy, right? Or really wants it to go up at least. And then they hit into it. So that's the next thing is then you see a big stack and then they hit into it and it pulls. Then that's another good thing to see. I have a little, I wrote an article for Optimus. I think that we were going to put it out today, but I don't know if they were able to get it up because I just gave it to them in a Word document and I think they had trouble.
Michael X says, do you know anyone who specializes in the Ultra Bond?
Okay, so we had a couple of people that were doing that. So for instance, Fran, she was doing the Ultra Bond. And she was doing it because she was catching really quick, like 4-tick reads. And she was doing well for a while. I don't know. We haven't seen her in a long time. We haven't seen her in well over a year or two. So I don't know if she quit or she's just not around or, you know, what the deal is there. She was an older lady, so maybe she's just not around anymore. I don't know. But she was doing well at the time. But, I don't know. I understand the allure of the Ultra Bond. Because you know, it's thin, but it's still treasuries. And you can get really good trades if you catch it. But, you know, those trades work both ways. And I tell you that the action that you can see in the Ultra Bonds can be deceptive. You just got to remember with a thin instrument that because it's thin, it's a lot easier for somebody to manipulate. You know, in the 10-year, when we get
Lucas
these spoofs and stuff, it's the newest sensation. No, when we get these spoofs in the 10-year, you know, like that's an institutional trader is probably doing that, right? It's a lot of margin. It's, you know, $500,000 to spoof 1,000. And sometimes we see 5,000, you know? So $500,000, $1 million to put some of these on, right? And in the 30, you know, doesn't take much at all. So maybe like 10K to make one of those show up. So, you know, that's the big thing that I would be careful about in the Ultra. And of course, you can always say, well, the 10-year matters the most, and I'm going to watch that. And that's what I tried to do for a long time. And it worked okay.
Uzi Knesset says, nice drive here in ZB.
Yeah, it really moved up, didn't it? That's okay, but you tend to have a hard time getting the right spot. You'll think that it's turning, and then ZB will try and shake you out. So that was interesting. It's trying to lure me into selling it here at 30.5. I suspect, though, they are not done. That was a fast move up, though. Okay, Donald Trump tweeted a bunch of stuff. Turkey fully understands not
Michael
to fire
X
on the
says
Kurds.
Pete Davies in one of the YouTube videos was saying one successful trader goes for one tick with 80% plus win rate, 10 contracts, one trade a day, but every once in a while would lose $5,000.
Yeah. Well, is he talking, because there's a guy on John Grady's channel, and he interviews that he's doing that. Oh, he's doing it in the Ultra Bond. Well, if you're going to be getting one tick, you've got to be getting 80%, right? So go and do the math. Do, you know, your average win is going to be one tick. Your average loser is probably actually going to be like 2 ticks, if not more. And then you add the commissions on top of that. You have to be winning like 80% to be making money from that. That's why I tend not to do it. I do have one trade in the 10-year that's worth a tick. And it was giving me 80%, although I suspect that the probability on that has decreased. I'm going to say it's more like 60-70% now. And you know what else? We haven't seen it in a while. We saw it a lot last month. And then we haven't seen it in a while. Maybe because I mentioned it, they'll make it happen.
Lucas says that's what happens if you mess with the one tickers.
Yeah. And the thing that will screw you is, like Michael's saying, you know, you're looking for one and you don't want to lose more than 1 or 2. But every once in a while, you'll get caught in it on the wrong way. There'll be a stop run. And when you get the slippage and stuff, you'll lose 4. And then that can really screw with your profit and loss. And the thing is, it's a lot of work to... Honestly, we have this... Where is this picture? I don't have it over here anymore. I have it on my work computer for some reason. Why do I have that on my work computer? There's kind of this... You could draw a graph I'm going to draw one really quickly. You could draw a graph and you could say, this is your average winner. And this is how often it happens. Okay. So there are some trades that make a ton, but they're not very common. We call these black swans, right? And there are ones that are very, very common, but you don't make very much when you do them. That's arbitrage, right? And then you can kind of draw this zone in here, right? So these ones that are very common and make a lot of money, these ones don't really exist. These ones aren't worth trading, okay? And then when you get over into here, black swans, for instance, these are the ones that hedge funds are going for. Then this would be more like scalping. These are where the robots have really dominated everything, okay? So there's a lot of competition on these edges. And so for a retail trader, I would recommend that you try and get somewhere in this area, right? So that's going to be trades that happen 3 or 4 times a day on a good day and have a 50% win rate. 50% win rate and a 2-to-1 risk reward sort of a thing. Makes sense? I've seen, it's not like you can't play over here. You can play over here. This is where you're trying to go. And you can do it. And I've seen people that do it and it works. You just got to realize there's a lot of competition for that spot, right? New York Feds take $77.3 billion of securities in overnight repo operation.
Big Bits says good stuff. Dropped you a like. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you very much, Big Bits. And if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. That will make it much easier for you to find us when we're live every morning, 8:20 Eastern to 10:30. Well, they're trading a decent amount of volume up here still. It seems like they just want to continue this battle that we had yesterday. And it was around 132. Remember, it was at 130. It was 29 was where I was like, I wish I could have bought it. And then it went up to here, and then I bought it up there, and then it fizzled out. It seems like they want me to buy it, and they did give us, well, I don't know what to make of that one, actually. There was a spike, you know? I don't know if that means they're somebody trying to shove it down so they can get filled for more, or what? Now that's interesting too. The book is overall a sell, but the absorption is favors the buy. The stacking and pulling is favoring the buyer. Is it the same in the other ones? Where's my ZB? Moved again. Lame. Okay. So there was a big bid there chasing it. And then it, well, no, they went through it. And then they came back down through that spot. And there's something at 03. And they're actually kind of stacking some above us. This kind of looks like yesterday's setup. Well, it looks like my thing is doing this right. I don't see any like double.
Gary Rich says, Seth, have you used the CME Quick Strike tools? It shows the futures option positions in OI.
Yes, I have. Okay, so that one, 50, 53, 56, 59, 25. No, it's doing good. I think it's doing it right. Yeah, you know what? I don't look at that terribly often. Just because it doesn't really tell me a whole lot about the individual scalp that I'm making, you know? It's certainly something to keep in mind. I mean, open interest is important. Open interest is something that you want to look at, right? You want to know if movement increased positions.
Gary Rich says maybe you should. It will show you the ranges.
Yeah, well, you can get price levels off of it, that's for sure. It's just, for me, usually any of the price levels that you guys give me, I would see it as a critical level for me to get out in or out at because of the volume there at that price. And then later I can go in and I can say, oh yes, so-and-so said that this was a key level, you know. But it's not like I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just saying it's not necessary for you to be able to see the level. You can see it with the order flow. If it's really an important level, you'll see it in the order flow. 30. So at 129.30, we had about 10,000 almost. Just shy. Okay, now 10,000. We've had 10,000 orders buy into 30. We have had 6,000 sell 30, and we've had almost 8,000 do 29.5. So the buyers, overall, there's more buying, but it's all happening at 30 and they're not able to get price to go in their direction. And meanwhile, they are being met by sellers that are just as aggressive. He might get trapped here, but I think that we should wait and see this area resolve and then try and take a trade when it does. Because if they buy, you know, if this truly ends up being a buy, then maybe we can move through some of these levels. I know that would be awfully crazy for Friday, but they're up there and everything. You have to go way down here before you start seeing them
Gary
on this
Rich
side.
says when those options unwind on a long, short gamma, it drives these markets.
Yeah. If they have a position, they're trying to lock it in, and then the market moves away from it, then it can really move. And today is an options expiration Friday, is it not? Oh, maybe not. Maybe the 18th was the options expiration Friday. But because next Friday is the 1st of November, okay, but you see they ticked it down. It seems to me like the seller's going to win this. I don't know if I'm going to get filled. I think it's already too late. $29.5 would be a poor price too. Oh yeah, I was going to read a Donald Trump tweet and I forgot what it was. Turkey fully understands not to fire on the Kurds as they leave what will be known as the safe zone for other fairly nearby areas. I don't have to repeat that large-scale sanctions will be imposed for violations going while ISIS is secured by Kurds with Turkey ready as backup. USA has gained trillions of dollars in wealth since November 2016. All others way down. Our power is economic before having to use our newly rebuilt military. A much better alternative. Oil is secured. Our soldiers have left and are leaving Syria for other places and then coming home. We were supposed to be there for 30 days. That was 10 years ago when these pundit fools who have called the Middle East wrong for 20 years ask what we are getting out of the deal. I simply say the oil, and we are bringing our soldiers back home. ISIS secured. Did he really say the oil? What? He was talking about go and secure the oil fields. Okay. But maybe he's talking about the other places that we're sending our soldiers, right? Because the United States does have a pretty strong interest in securing Saudi Arabia. Although it's been interesting how they've been able to keep that one under wraps.
Says morning.
Hey, good morning, Ace. By the way, Ace, are you still available to meet up tonight? I had totally spaced it the rest of the days, but today I said if I see Ace, I absolutely have to ask him if it's possible. If it is, then we text later. But I am free tonight. Wife is going to be working till late. Etc. etc.
Ace Trade says today isn't good. Sorry.
Darn it. Well, that's okay. We will get it someday. Well, then, if we're not going to do that, then I guess I could probably come home. You know, I have a bunch of things that I need to do. In one of the things I'm struggling with is I really want to get... I have Sierra charts. I have Sierra charts, and I want to program some stuff in Sierra charts. But... you know, it's a Friday night. I don't want to program in Sierra
Gary
charts
Rich
on a Friday
says,
night.
no strip club Fridays.
Strip club Fridays. Yes, let's do it. I don't think my wife would appreciate that. No, sir. She is, you know what? My poor dear wife, her ex, he was gay, and he was sleeping with men for, 10 years of their marriage or something like that. And so, she's a little traumatized by it, and she is a jealous type. I tell you, if I went to a strip club, that would be the end. She would divorce me, probably. I think so. I think so. That would be a big deal, sir.
Gary Rich says you can watch but not touch.
You can watch but not touch.
Ace Trade says I can't even ask the girl at the restaurant for extra toast. Can't imagine going to a strip club.
Right, maybe our wives would get along. She needs man. I mean, I don't know, but this is a theory of mine. She is just a little bit more of the I don't know how to put it, because it's not like she's shy.
Gary Rich says, are you guys Omish?
No.
Ace Trade says should have called that short at 3002.00.
Really? I don't know. I see.
Uzi Knesset says too much free porn to warrant the money black hole that is a strip club lol.
Right. You know what? Oh yeah. So I was going to say about my wife. She's not like shy or anything like that, but she has a tendency to want to be at home. And it's not like she doesn't have friends, but she doesn't have friends that like pull her out of the house. She needs friends that pull her out of the house.
Ace Trade says it Gary Rich not Amish lol.
Anyways, I have another buddy that lives down in Alpine that I used to do a podcast with. I haven't seen in a while, and I really need to get them together because his wife is really into crafts and my wife is really into crafts, and I think that they would really go well. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say in the E-mini, the short term is definitely down, but these treasuries are up here. The order flow in the treasuries at the moment does not look positive to me. The sellers are really shoving this down. Now, part of this might be that everybody watched what happened yesterday, and so they're expecting the same thing to happen. But yeah. Yeah, I think I really like this keyboard, but me pushing down. It's pushing the table, and then you can hear it in the microphone. So we need to get...
Gary Rich says noticed how the 10 years hit 1.8 and reversed back fast.
Yeah. You mean 1.8 in yield? You mean the 1.8 was down here?
Gary Rich says yay.
Gotcha.
Michael X says I thought reds are not great for typing.
Let's see here. Treasury blocks going through, buyer of 10-year December paying 129.25 half on 7K, 129.29 half on 5K, 130.010 on 9K, and 130.020 on 6K. And then he's saying, somebody else responds, total block volume was 32,000. Open interest is up 98,000. So where did he get that from? Because it's just from the last open interest report that the open interest has increased. Well, I haven't looked at that this month. It comes out on Thursdays, right? Let's see if we can. Yeah, I need to get a suspension mount for my microphone. That's what I'm going to buy next. Like, get a stand. It's going to come out this, so I can get the microphone like right here. And then a suspension boom. And then I'm going to try and switch to the Focusrite. I think it'll be a better microphone. It'll definitely be a better audio for me. Oh, they've changed the CME website considerably. ZN 10-year note. Ooh, it's a featured product now. Bring it over here so I can make it a little wider. Sometimes they show different stuff. Nope, that's not. Okay. Markets. Interest rates. Open interest profile.
Gary Rich says I was just there before here, looking at the OI.
Well, see, but I don't think that this is going to be terribly interesting because you see, if I do the 10-year, it's going to be right there at 130. Yep. See, doesn't tell me anything that I don't already know. But I want to see this straight up open interest. COT. That's what I wanted. I was just thinking, because I have a video coming out on COT, and I'm thinking, did I actually say COT in that? I'm pretty sure I did.
Gary Rich says add the addition months, that's the key.
So when we look at this, that was 10/8. That's 10/15. We don't get 22. So the question is, they're saying that the positions in thousands has increased by about 98. They're saying, if I'm understanding these guys on Twitter correctly, this guy's tweet right here, Albert Marquez. Open interest up 98K from where? And how do you determine that well, open interest is a different indicator though, isn't it?
Gary Rich says add the weekly and additional months. There are quarterly as well.
You mean like you want me to look at it from the 6 month? I just want to look at it from week to week. See, so for me, from week to week, you notice there was a ton of interest in it here. And then it came down a little bit in July. I'm actually surprised here in the end of August it came down. But then it came back up a little bit. That's interesting.
Gary Rich says week to week ISNT much kinda noisy.
Well, the reason why I'm interested is when the open interest is increasing, you have better opportunities as a scalper, right? Now, you have to keep in mind that open interest in general is probably going to decline throughout the year because less people need to hedge at the end of the year. I think you'll find if we went back out like 3 years, I think you'll find that it's tends to be, well, I guess there's that May. I forgot about that. This time period right here, though, that was, I remember that. That sucked. Oh, wait, that was when the market really changed, though, wasn't it? Well, anyways, I mean, when people are getting into and out of
Gary
positions,
Rich says
that's
when
when
you
it
look
matters.
at OI, its percentage changes.
So that's interesting. But, all the way through here into the December of last year, market was ripping. Then we had it come back down and I made money on that. But then it kind of, stopped moving around June, July. And then we had this. So it's interesting that in this most recent history that the open interest went down. But I think that that's just because it's too volatile and people don't want to be in it. But, Oh, they have a supplemental that shows the largest traders.
Gary Rich says come on.
Largest 4 or less traders by gross position were mostly long. But I guess the point is I can't see the 22nd, right? We don't get that until next Tuesday, I think. But I would expect to see the open interest decrease again. But then the next report after that, going into the end of this week, maybe it increases because there was certainly some action up there, right? There was some crazy action up there. Well, we're still at 30, so I'm glad I didn't try playing that because we would just be sitting in this. It's only been 30 minutes. I'm waiting for my thing to die. I need to go. You know what I should have done is I should have put on in my logs here because I'm logging out every time that I do it because I want to see, make sure that it's doing it every 3 seconds. But I should have added something that gives me a count of how many requests because it gets to about 1,800 requests and then it's going to die. Because what happens is you get 10,000, but one request is worth like 8 points. Now you could take less, but then you have to, then you don't even get the information that matters. Let's see here. Google live chat messages. Streaming API list. See, you have to grab this snippet.
Gary Rich says inside that heat map you can select other tools like volatility matrix. Oh, just another way to analyze these things.
Sure. See, this is where it gets retarded. Is like the snippet is what actually has the user's information in, or actually has the message in it. So if you don't grab this snippet, you're taking these three, kind of useless, right? Kind of useless. And then the author details is another one that we have to pull to even get your name, right? Because without it, you don't have anything. Just the display message. So it's kind of lame. It forces you to query for the whole thing. And then that means that it costs you more. It costs you 8 points. And I tried putting a message on, let's see here, Stack Overflow. Let's see if I should do it over on this browser. Let's see if anybody responded to it. I bet you probably not. Nope. That was another thing that made me kind of upset, was that so I'm like, okay, well, let's try and contact Google support. And you go to the support page and it says, well, we watched the Stack Overflow tag. That's not support. You kidding me? Google. Good grief. There's 30 half. I'm getting a spike again, so somebody's still trying to push it up. I wonder if they're going to break this high first. Maybe then it would reverse. But at that point, there's probably going to be so much of a, you know, excitement. People are probably going to want to keep buying it. I'm feeling ADHD today. Maybe it's just because we don't have a whole lot to talk about, but like now I'm thinking about my keyboard again. This keyboard is awesome, but the typing. See that right there? That's like one key. You can kind of hear it. I think that I need to like lube the keys, but then I'm also thinking maybe I need like I have this mouse pad, but maybe I need like something really soft underneath of it to absorb impact. This table probably also doesn't help, because the table is kind of hollow. So the table absorbs, kind of reverberates. And then I don't have a shock mount for it. See, if I like took it off the table, can I do that? Well, if I pick it up. Yeah. Shock mount will make a big difference. Shock mount will make a big difference. I don't know. Maybe you guys like the sound. You like the sound of when I'm typing like that.
Gary Rich says put it on a pillow.
Yeah, exactly. Put it on a pillow. You know what, though? I have to say. Here, actually, I want to put this back away. I'll leave the stickers, but I'm gonna put this this manual part back in the case. Bum, 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 bum. So you get this is the brand of it. They gave me stickers. I don't know what I would do with those. What I do with these stickers? Where am I supposed to put these? I don't put it on my case. I don't want to put it on my case. But the box is so cool. Like, if I can get it out here. There's like, I don't know if you can see that. Did you see how there's like a little lip? See how there's a little lip at the bottom? And then inside there's like a little felt. It was like a felt pad that it was sitting on to protect it. And hard foam. Hard foam around the edges and everything. So let's take this and put this in here. Like it was. I should probably just take this out and put it in the garage tomorrow or whatever, or tonight. And there's the case. But I was looking for keyboards, right? Because I needed one, and I wanted specifically those silent red switches that don't make the clacky noise, which I'd say it does pretty good. That's pretty good. And it was hard finding a cheap one. You know, most of them were more in the $150 range, and this one was like the cheapest one that I could find with the switches in it at $99. But it is an amazing keyboard. Holy cow. And the color effects on it are pretty crazy too. Which kind of makes me think, because there's some keyboards, like I was looking at these, they make these ones called Toper.
Michael X says what brand?
Was Fnatic, F-N-A-T-I-C. Apparently these guys, I didn't know this until after I ordered it, but apparently these guys sponsor a lot of Counter-Strike pros, and their keyboard has been on the winning team now like 4 years in a row or something like that. So it was like surprised I had never heard of them before. It's a pro gamer thing though. Anyways, there's a type of switch
Gary
called.
Rich says at times you can't go cheap.
Yeah, I mean a keyboard is worth spending money on. That's true. So these Toper keyboards that I was looking at with the Toper switches in them, and it's like some sort of a weird hybrid that is like extra quiet. They were like $250 plus for a keyboard. Can you believe that? But apparently, when the switches add up quickly. You have a very expensive switch, and then you have 100 of them on there. They're like $2 a switch. It gets expensive quickly. If you build your own, it's expensive. But I think it would be worth it, because I would like to have like like padding behind the keys and stuff. And I think I want to take these apart and like, the space bars. You can kind of hear on the space bar. There, you can kind of hear it. Can you hear that like scratchiness?
Gary Rich says, Seth, do you have pre-programmed hotkeys or orders?
I do not. You know what? Maybe I should. I used to have a puke key set to my thumb, but I never ended up really needing it or using it. It just kind of ended up being a temptation instead. If I was managing a lot of lots, then it would be a thing for sure. Part of my problem is that Jigsaw just doesn't quite have the... When you come in here, here's their shortcut keys.
Gary Rich says I have one of those oh shit get me out keys.
Yeah. So look at how many keys they have for clear. Okay, they have one that you can do for buy. Here we go. Quantity 1, quantity 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you can't set. I don't think you can set those. Right? If I could change the quantities so that this one was 1 and this one was 2 or something, then it would be different. But otherwise, like, because the quantity is probably the most important thing. And then the next thing is, let's see here, hit bid, join bid. I mean, those help because the keyboard might be faster than your mouse, but I'm usually sitting there. No, they don't have it. On this right here, you know, being able to switch from auto to stop limit to limit and things like that. I think that would be more useful with the keybind, but they don't have that. So, I don't know. It reminds me that, so there's a new keyboard out from Razer. And Razer has kind of been...
Uzi Knesset says you can set different keys for different order types.
I don't see the option. You have to tell me where it is. Anyways, Razer has been shit on for many years now by the enthusiast keyboard community for a lot of features that most end consumers don't care about. So like one of the big ones is that they use ABS plastic for their keycaps, which is what most people do. But if you use PBT, it's way better. It lasts longer and it feels nice. I have to say, I think that these ones are PBT and they feel nice. And they made a new keyboard where they tried to fix some of these issues. So it's like a PBT and everything like that. But it has a new kind of switch. It has an optical switch. And they actually have test results that show that their new optical switch is like, I think it was like 50. Here, let's find. I don't want to say something inaccurate. Let's go find it. The Huntsman. Optomechanical switch. Okay, so we come down in here.
Uzi Knesset says it's at the bottom of the hotkey screen. Join bid, join offer, lift bid, lift offer, market buy, market sell.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't change what kind of orders you're placing if you placed with your mouse. That's what I meant. Where do you see it? Faster actuation. Here we go. The speed of light. How it works. Performance. Okay, so here you go. And they talk about how it works, right? So here with a clicky switch, there's an actuation point. And with the optical switch, it's just linear and you get a actuation point is much closer. And so when you get into key press, signal sent, you're getting a couple milliseconds faster. Oh, I thought it was somewhere they actually had like milliseconds, how much faster it was. Oh, here you go. So from the key press on theirs, it's like on their mechanical switch, it's 14 milliseconds, and on theirs, it's 6. So it's almost 10 milliseconds faster. And I'm like, well, you know, you're trading in everything 10 milliseconds. Maybe that matters. Maybe that matters. I don't know. Maybe getting an optical switch. The thing because I looked at that one, I thought maybe I should get that one. But it's loud. It's really loud apparently, because of the way that they have the keys and everything, because every key has a stabilizer on it, and stabilizers are loud. So that was the thing that I thought was funny, was this like, oh, you have this optical switch that would allow you to make a completely silent keyboard. And then when they made their loudest keyboard that they've gotten. Man, that's just been dead. See, I wonder if they moved up there just to give people something, you know, excited to get into, but they weren't planning. Part of the reason why I didn't take any of that, oh, this was a thought that I had that I should have shared at the time, but I forgot, was because, you know, you distracted me or something. Where is it? No institutional activity on that. Didn't move up at all. They're gone. They're not going to participate. They're clearly waiting until the consumer sentiment news. So it's not worth. We're still reading messages. It's about 15 minutes now, and I think it'll die on us. CNN Zucker says he has no plans to resign despite Trump tweet. I think he should. I think that whole expose from the Project Veritas guys, I thought that was pretty pretty damning to the network. And if I was the one of the owners with a financial interest in that, I would be getting him out. I'd be getting rid of him.
Uzi Knesset says, can you really damn CNN any more than they already are, though? LMAO.
Right. So while I'm thinking about it, not that, oh, we need to roll over. Roll over, roll over. I was just looking at my oil chart and I'm like, that's not right. So funny thing that happened today. Well, there was a yesterday, I forget what her name is, but there's a Democrat representative that was having an illicit relationship with a campaign staffer, which is inappropriate. You can't have a relationship with a subordinate, okay? That's when you have that big of a...
Uzi Knesset says Katie Hill.
Yeah, Katie Hill, that's right. You can't have a relationship with a subordinate because that could be coercion. This is standard stuff. I tell you this, you know, when you go to the, like, they have that sexual harassment orientation.
All the internet domains for to-dos con Biden.
Oh, I saw that too. That was funny. Biden mentioned the website and they hadn't bought it yet. And then Trump bought it out from underneath of him. That was funny. No. You know, when you go to work and you're starting and they make you go through all these things and you have to affirm that you understand the sexual harassment policy.
A member of Congress doing inappropriate stuff. Say it is not so.
So that when you do something inappropriate, you can't say, I didn't know any better, or it be any kind of defenses to protect the company. And they always tell you that. And one of the things they say, you know, if you have a consensual relationship with another employee, it's okay as long as they are not a subordinate. Right? But here we have a campaign staffer having a relationship with a subordinate. It's an ethics violation, folks. And the way that this came about was that nude pictures of them leaked on the internet. Now, I think that what's going on...
Greg Orlovsky says,
hey,
GML. Hi, Seth. A question. CME servers for our orders. IP address. Aurora, Illinois. Can you find an IP to ping? Trying to get milliseconds to server?
Well, so I don't think that you would be pinging the CME, though, right? You're going to ping your data provider, like Rhythmic or CQG.
Michael X says from some site Politico, Hill, however, has denied having a sexual relationship with her male legislative director, Graham Kelly. Why do they have to use the adjective male?
I don't know. But this whole thing is kind of weird. I think that what happened is that she was posting pictures of herself.
Greg Orlovsky says, oh, okay, thank you, back to that dem perv.
Yeah, back to that dumb perv. Yeah, and you just get like your rhythmic connection details, and it'll tell you like which server you connect to and everything, and that's what you want to ping.
Uzi Knesset says because the staffer she had the relationship with was female.
I guess. I don't know if they really... don't assume their gender, okay? Come on. Come on now. It's 2019, guys. No. Anyways, so they have this illicit relationship. She was like posting pictures of herself on wife sharing websites, is my understanding. So today I'm going and I'm seeing the news stories and they're saying this is revenge porn. No, she put those pictures out there. I would think if you're a congressman...
It says, I saw the pictures. She's a woman, LMAO.
yeah, she's a woman. She's got a little bit of it. They're not the most flattering pictures.
Silva says, but Bush and John was both skull and bones, but one was Democratic and the other one Republican.
I'm just saying, though, the thing that was so funny to me...
Gary Rich says, did she post a link? Now I'm interested in her.
I don't know. I don't 100% understand where it came from, but I'm reading between the lines, and they were saying that she was posting on wife-sharing websites, so I think that that's how it came out, was somebody realized, oh, that's my senator. Well, I'm going to post it everywhere. So now today, the big news story is that she is the subject of a harassment campaign using revenge porn, and this is inappropriate and wrong, and she's a victim. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If it was a Republican, we all know if it was a Republican, guys.
Says, that's my senator. I'm gonna bang her, lololol.
Right? Listen, we all know if it was a Republican, ain't nobody would be saying, oh, that's revenge porn, you shouldn't be doing that. The Democrats would not care. That would be the story. That would be the story for like 2 weeks, is this sexual scandal with a Republican. We all know it. This is, even if you're a Democrat, it would be, right? And I go on Reddit and they have this thread where they're trying to defend it. And there was a couple of people that were saying, well, it's wrong to post pictures on the internet without their permission. Well, she put them up there, but that's okay. You're right. We shouldn't post pictures without their permission. Maybe we shouldn't be sharing the picture around, but she committed an ethics violation having a relationship with a subordinate, guys. It's not okay. And trying to change the subject like that. And the thing is nobody in the thread was buying it.
Gary Rich says maybe it's a troll bot or deepfake thing. ROFL, it's Hillary. She knows who is being Russian influenced. LOL.
All right. So this was another funny thing, is that Hillary was talking about, there's going to be crazy videos of me doing X thing and the X thing. And what happened was 4chan, it's always 4chan, right? 4chan had started some fake campaign to try and, trigger people with her. So it was like a well-known fake thing, and it had gotten to her, and she thought that it was like a real thing instead of another 4chan hoax. Like she thought that there was like an organized campaign to take her down with these crazy pictures of some sort. And she was talking about this on like an interview, and she just sounds totally crazy talking about it. It's kind of like that. Oh man, I forgot about that. You guys remember at the last debate? I'm so ADHD today, man. Remember at the last debate, Joe Biden was talking about, he was like on Friday or something like that. Like that there was some big shoe was going to drop, and everybody thought, oh, he knows there's an organized, the coup, that's when they're going to move and all of this sort of a stuff. And then nothing happened. Nothing happened. I don't think anything happened. Nassim Nicholas Taleb Al, thank you here. Charles, so Mohammed Hijazi tweets, Charbel Narhas. Oh, come on, I hate it when it moves on me.
Gary Rich says Hillary has the balls to claim Tulsi as Russian compromised along with another Democratic.
It was really crazy to me how much attention that got. 5 year is taking the position off. I can't believe that got way more attention than it deserved, man. I thought. It's just like, you know what? It's Hillary. Who cares? Nobody cares what Hillary thinks anymore. And then Tulsi responded to it. It's like, oh, it's you. You're the one that's been undermining my campaign this whole... Like, come on, Tulsi. It was like, I mean, I understand being upset about it. And you do have a little bit of a point, but like the way she phrased and everything was kind of crazy.
It says that's been every day for the last 3 years. Bombshell,
yeah,
bombshell, bombshell, bombshell. The end of Trump, bombshell, bombshell. Democrats gotta have blue balls with this shit by now.
Oh, they're long past that. This is the thing that I find so weird and unique about the situation that we have, is that mass hysteria is a common thing. It's much more common than we want to believe. At some point in your life, you will be involved in some sort of a mass hysteria. And right now, we are experiencing mass hysteria after mass hysteria. And what usually happens is that the bubble gets popped at some point. Something happens that destroys the whole thing, and people realize that it was silly. And in this situation, the thing that pops the bubble was when Barr came out and released the full Mueller report to everybody, and nothing happened. That was the bubble pop, right? And the thing that's so unique about our world today is that they keep finding a way to keep it going. So, you know, then it was, oh, Barr is playing defense for Trump and is being corrupt too. He's in on it. And then that, you know, didn't go anywhere. And then finally they were able to attach onto this Russia thing, which is, I think ridiculous. With the information that we have so far, I think it's ridiculous. But I digress. Let's read what Nassim Nicholas Taleb was saying, because I like it. So Mohammed, he's responding to Mohammed Hijazi. He says, Charbel Narhas giving an open lecture on crisis of capitalism at the reclaimed Egg in downtown. Over 500 in attendance, many of them students across Lebanese universities currently on strike since yesterday. Other teach-ins by AUB professors have taken place here. And Mr. Taleb says, this is not a crisis of capitalism, but kleptocracy and cronyism. Kleptocracy and cronyism are vastly, vastly more prevalent under Marxist and socialist regimes. He's right. He's absolutely right. The problem that we have in our world today is, yeah, kleptocracy. The thing is that capitalism rewards your ability to give a return on capital. And it's a lot easier to get a good return on capital through kleptocracy. That's the problem. That's why it's illegal, or unethical, and we try and get away from those sorts of things. But of course, it's still going to happen. Anyways, Zero Hedge speculating that Tulsi is going to do a third-party run. Says she won't seek re-election to Congress. Now, that one I'm surprised. Why would she not try and get re-elected? She just knows that she doesn't stand a chance now? Somebody is already running against her? Then what is she going to do? You're not in Congress anymore. You're not going to be president. What's her role now? I don't know. That tweet that she sent out, though, it seemed uncharacteristic of her. I wonder if like a campaign staffer made it or something like that. Charles Barkley blasts Pence over China comments. Vice President Pence needs to shut the hell up. What? That does not jive with what he was saying earlier, was it? Does it?
Nike promotes itself.
Yeah, so I remember what he said. It's unfair that politicians are attempting to make the NBA and players look bad. No, Charles. Politicians Politicians are not making the NBA and players look bad. You know who's making the NBA and players look bad? LeBron James. Okay. He said stupid stuff. The NBA itself is making themselves look bad, kicking people out of the arena and stuff. Listen, if you don't want to look bad, then support free speech. We can just have a politics day. We haven't talked too much politics this week. So now at big money going back and forth at 28.5. I really don't know what to make of this, guys. I bet you that at the end of the day, when the options pit closes today, that it's going to be like, oh, you know what happened? You guys were still talking, weren't you? You guys were still talking. Yes, you were. It was my thing died. Yep. My quota reached my quota. Right there. Let me go back. I want to see when it stopped exactly. At 13:23. Oh, so I've been talking to myself for the past 7 minutes and you guys have been responding and I'm like, why are they? Tootsie is bait to split the right. I pay her no mind. I don't know if I don't know if I believe that. Maybe. I think that it's not so, I think that she's just a person that ran for president that happens to have a different foreign policy than the rest of the Democrat Party. That's what I think. Capitalism and socialism are both the same. You're giving power to someone else. Take the good thing of both. Why people just jump to one side? I don't agree with that. Hold on, what are these other comments? I heard that if the Senate has impeached hearings, senators cannot campaign during the proceedings and must be in hearings Monday through Saturday. Yes. So they're going to have these hearings and it's going to be for like, possibly for like 4 weeks up until, because when the timetable that I'm hearing is that it's going to be all November and that it'll be done by Thanksgiving. But that means that all of the Democrat senators are going to be stuck in Congress during a pretty key campaign time. Is he trade CP, but I don't think he's long here. Where's a good place to get out on a short in CN? Why are you not short? Well, so you know what? It's really hard to tell in this section because they're trading so much volume everywhere. I would probably be going based more on, I would either be trying to let it run and just saying, oh, well, or I would be taking the first absorption that I see, you know? So there was a lot of trade there at 28.5, and then we came down and failed, and now we're trading into 27. The low that we've seen so far today was 26.5. I think that there could be more in this, but, you know, I don't like being in around the E-mini. That's the problem, right? Like the E-mini is going up. What happens if the E-mini turns down? So, I don't know. It's your call. But for me, the thing that I've been seeing this week is that they don't give you very much, even if you're right. So I would just take what you can get. I like waiting for a decent range to form before I decide what to do. Yes. So I'm having a hard time reading your names because it's like this blue on blue. So let's go fix that. Streamlabs. I'm waiting for a decent range to form. Yeah, so like if it starts bouncing here off of 26, then we'd have established a range, right? Okay, chat box. Body, log div, deleted, emote. Badge, name. That's not right. I launch this. Here, somebody say something. No good probability trades here. Yeah, well, again, my plan is no big guys in the market. No big guys in the market, so I don't want to be in. Could have sold the overnight high failure, but the upside risk was too high for me in that. Yeah. Well, remember when we were up there, it was like, well, I think people are going short because they remember what happened yesterday. Span class name. So where is that in here? Oh, there it is, dot name. Color. Color should be, well, let's just make it white. Oh, I saw one up here. I can just copy that one. Yes. Color. Save settings. Okay. Now say something again. Boom, 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 boom. 26. It's not bad. Hey, yeah. There we go. That is much easier to read. Good morning, Peter. It's in Discord. I don't know. This is interesting action. Shorted some knob. Ooh, I think I like that trade. I was long ZBs, but shorted it against it in the 10s. Yeah. Hey, the downside target equals 159.10, the low of the week. Whereas Robot Voice, your stream enjoyment just dropped by 1,000%. I know, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it until we can find an alternative way to get the data. Yeah. It's the rate limit. So you probably missed it earlier, but we're limited to 10,000 requests per day. I've put in a request to increase it, but with all of the things that I've done to limit it and things like that, it's still not enough. I suppose that I could go in and change the delay to be like 6 seconds, but... Oh, okay, so he took it at 27, says Peter. So it looks like here at 26, they've formed a pretty good space. So if I might have gotten out before that, but if I had been in, I would probably definitely should be taking 26. While I expected the bonds to bounce hard this week, they did nothing. I think price action says we continue lower. I like to short 10s versus longs 30 though. Yes, we have consumer sentiment. Air cages. Hey, I remember you. How's it going? Are you still trading sim? I switch off. I still switch off. You know what? I've had... Oh, man. I was doing amazing. And then I had this really bad, really bad day. and I mean really bad. Really bad day. And so, yeah. That's where we're at. You know what? I don't like it being white and white. Let's change it to be a little bit more, I don't know, blue? Maybe... What time is consumer sentiment sent? I think it happens at the top of the hour. So don't know if... that's not enough. $10 a.m., yeah. I wonder if they're going to go lower before that, or what. Maybe it's worth taking the trade after that, though. And clearly it was worth shorting that thing. It's not like it didn't occur to me, right? In fact, I even thought about selling 29.5, was it, right? Well, I could have gotten 30. I wouldn't have been too bad. I guess I was a little too stingy on that one. Peter, I think it's a few factors. Fed being active in short term, you can see from the price action in Eurodollars that they're having a much better positive. With that, yes, China is probably selling, but for every China sell, I think Japan is buying. Yes. That's much better. Markets are really annoying this week for me. No trades since Wednesday in CL, ES, and natural gas because I'm not getting clear signals and generally hard to read for me. Yeah, well, I haven't hardly taken any trades, right? I've been buying and selling Bitcoin for the past year or so. What are your views on Bitcoin at the moment? Oh, that's right. I forgot that you were kind of more of the Bitcoin era, huh? Well, I tell you what, this sell down to 7,500 sure was ugly, and the community really is reacting to it. But it seemed like it was timed around the Facebook announcement and everything. I suspect, and I don't necessarily have a good read in the short term, so I'm not saying I have an edge here or anything like that, but my own personal feeling is that Bitcoin price will probably recover from that last sell. I think in the end we could get back to 8K, but the longer term, look for me is not good. I don't think. I think that when the end of the year comes, they're gonna take their profits and the beginning of the year route like we had after 2017 or whatever it was, 2016. Will be really, really ugly. So that's kind of my feeling. But my chart still says it's overbought. Surprisingly enough. There's just no activity on the blockchain right now. It's literally all there's people coming in. Sure. And I mean it keeps coming in through Tether, so it's either fake money or it's like hedge funds borrowing money. But the money is coming. I was doing really good before markets changed like 4 months ago and then all went to shit. A lot of interesting how that happens, Lucas. And the thing is that it's just
Block
like,
sell.
Oh man. Now he's like, okay, folks, now I'm going to show you what I can really do. Ah, man, that was a 3K at 25. Wonder if that was a stop. The E-minis buying up? It's kind of tepid. And they tick up. I would expect to get a signal here, and I'm not. So I think that we might pull back a few ticks. Is a good pullback, but I still want to see consumer sentiment. Man, if consumer sentiment number was good, that could really... Yeah. I like the color that I changed. I like it with that color. Now maybe I should change the margin left. Let's try that. So now you have to say something for me to be able to see the change. Or, oh, can I? Maybe it'd get filled at 26. I think I should just stick to my plan and just wait until consumer sentiment. Suppose if I'd been short from 30 though, after that hit into 25, I would maybe be looking for them to do it again. Oh, you gotta say something, guys. Here, I'm going to do it. I was good Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, I did nothing. Yesterday, I came out break even and dipped out before my bias came to fruition for the session. Oh, yeah. Something. Yes. Well, that's a little better. It's a little better. It's a little bit more to the left. I don't know what I got to do to make it go all the way to the left. I just don't like the way that... Yeah, I just don't like the look. Oof. An aggressive downtick. Yes, looks like it's going to make a new high. Okay, we'll talk to you later, Ace. Oh, now that's interesting. It's 35 and 65. Ah. I like that at 15. Okay. $15. Okay. Much better. Except for that now there's not as much room. It's hard to argue this isn't very bearish price action. Have you heard of the UK flash trash trader Navinder Sararo? I don't think so. But maybe you start telling me and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 15 is too tight. Like they're hidden in at 25 again. Sadly. So let's try with my name. Because mine is longer. Yeah, now that's good. Okay, cool. Big icebergs. Ooh. Guy who lost even in the seat he bought at the CME paid like 400K. Now it's worth 80K. Oh, he was the guy that it hit the fat finger trade on the S&P 500 futures and caused the flash crash. Huh. Or at least, you know, the big order that seemed to be most, you know, the one that kind of triggered things. The thing that always bothered me about the flash crash is that it was like, you know, like it was bad action anyways. Like it was going to go down. Peter says Nav was a big scapegoat. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he did do something wrong and everything, but the futures were already kind of like ready to careen out of control. And then all of the liquidity pulled. That was the thing. He's the guy who designed an algo that spoofed other algos and made something like 35 million. They blamed him for the crash, which is totally BS. He made something that spoofed. I just remember them saying that there was an order that was like ridiculously huge that went through. There was these guys, they like actually got access from the exchange to the data, and they were able to pinpoint like the order that was so big that kind of triggered things. And they blamed it on that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that was like, but that's just like the last nail in the coffin, right? Because if everything else was okay and then you saw that, everybody would probably ignore it. But there was already really negative sentiment, and they were ready to sell down at that time anyways. And nobody realized that the robots were providing all the liquidity, and when the robots disappeared, who's going to hold price? And then none of the humans wanted to do it. And we're still in this situation. I'm very concerned about the situation with ETFs. I don't know what the solution is, because I don't think that you can go in and say, well, we just can't do ETFs anymore or something like that. But I just don't think that it's a good idea for those to be such a pivotal component, you know? He would do thousands of lots in ES. That's like, bet a lot of money on that. 29.39, but still no fill here, huh? I saw a little bit of reaction there when the ES ticked up to 3009. Overall, though, I'm seeing a lot of buying in 25.5, like single lots. So I don't know if that's a spreader or what. Seeing a lot of correlation with the 6J right now, too, by the way. Okay, so it's a minute to the news. I'm not exactly seeing polling for it either, which is curious. Let's see what we're looking for, shall we? So, revised University of U of M. Who is it for? University of Michigan, that's right. University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. Previous reading of 96. Inflation expectations Oh, there's actually a forecast. So its previous was 96, expected is 96. Inflation expectations, there's no forecast, but there was previous of 2.5. Okay. So here it comes. Looking 95 versus 96 expected. So it was a little worse than expected, but not huge. And where's the inflation expectations? 2.5 in line. So the news, negative, but not too bad. Now, okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. So now it's kind of like the seller can continue his route, but and they came down there pretty quick, and they're absorbing at 25F. So let's see if he tries to break it at 25. They're coming out with a book. I find the guy fascinating. The Rise and Fall of British futures trader Nav Sarrar, who made $70 billion from his bedroom before being blamed by the US for the 2010 crash. Were you trading during that flash crash? I wasn't like actively trading, but I was certainly watching markets then. I was working for Goldman Sachs at the time. Like that was right when I started working for them. Like I started working for Goldman Sachs around May or something like that. And then did the training in June. And so I was watching it, but I certainly wasn't, watching order flow or anything like that. So unfortunately, I don't really have the same experience. I tell you what, man, seeing the market from the DOM is a very different thing from seeing it from the chart. And I feel like if all you're doing is watching a chart, you really don't understand what's going on, Because I look at all these other guys, some other guys that are very good traders, better traders than myself. But because they're not watching the order flow, I don't think that they completely understand, I can go in and I can say to them, well, big guys aren't really doing a whole lot. I don't see a whole lot of movement in the tape here. It looks like that they're waiting on something. Like, there's this news or that news. And they don't realize that because all they can see is the chart. And the chart doesn't tell them those sorts of things. They see movement in the chart. They can't see that, well, there wasn't a lot of market orders participating there. Kaka Silver, that is right. Thank you. Are they going to bust this at 25 or what? I don't know. This makes me a little bit nervous just because, this is exactly what they did on the upside. Was they came up to a spot and it looked like maybe they were going to try and break it. Well, maybe not so much today, but definitely yesterday they did this on the upside. And then they did eventually push down, but not by very much. Now this one is being a little bit more aggressive. And the downtrend, it's more in line with the weekly trend. And there was a lot more negative action going into it too. But I don't know. There's a lot of buying there at 25.5. On the mark, both sides, I guess. That's a good level break setup. Maybe they'll tick down and they'll go for it. These slow action trades always look 50-50 to me. Just flip a coin. Yes. No, air cages, it totally is. In this situation, well, I think it's a little better than 50-50, but in this situation, because we're not trading, the level break trade is a 50-50. In fact, I'd even say as of recent, it's been less than 50-50. If it's a trend day, it's like 90%. If it's a trend day, you take the level break every time. It works like a charm. If you know that it's a trend day. But that's one of the ways that you know that it's a trend day is when you see the level break work. Boom, boom, boom. What platform are you using? So the DOM is Jigsaw and the charts are NinjaTrader. If you go, to my videos, I have a video from a couple weeks back. It should be in the, education and analysis channel where I say, or playlist, what is the best futures trading software platform? where I explain why I use the platforms I do. Been messing around. Most of these guys use CR charts, and I've been messing around with that. I don't think I'm going to switch, but I do think I'm going to try and write some stuff in CR charts. Maybe tomorrow afternoon, if I finish with my editing early. It's hard to program because when it's harder to do things when the data isn't up. So it's better to do it on a free day during the week than it is on the weekend. I mean, I'm still seeing a decent amount of level 2 activity. That's the thing. In fact, it's starting to increase a bit in the 5 and the 30. It looks like they're trying to push it up a little bit, maybe to trap people. CR charts is easy from the limited amount I programmed in it, much easier than NinjaTrader because the code is much shorter. Really? It's C++ code though, isn't it? Well, the thing that I'm interested in, that's our part, recognizing trend days as trend days. Yeah, right. Well, you know what? The thing that I've been noticing that's helped me is watching for these large orders, like these algorithms that stack 400 way far away. The presence or absence of those tells us a lot. So today is a little bit different because it's Friday and it's options expiration, but I would say this market is still range bound because they're not there. But I mean, the way they've come down here and everything, we could get a level break. So we'll see. Anyways, the thing that I'm going to be interested to see in CR charts is how difficult is it for me to draw my own chart, because I want to make my my distribution profile is the most useful one, I think. What's Alligator say here? Soft data and yen up, not supporting level break at the moment, maybe later. So they took 25 half offer again, and they're only offering 500. Often when they do the level break, they'll stack on it hard first. Uzi long 159.31. Oh, really? It's pretty ballsy. Well, the thing is, if this goes the way that the last one did, they will break 25 and even 24. And, maybe they get through that 24 and then they run out of steam. Like that's what happened last time, was they broke it and then they didn't get enough of a, okay. Well, it says that I got in at the back of the queue for that second order. Okay, now they're hitting into 24.5. Haven't been trading full size for a few months. He's out, yeah. They were just waiting for you, Uzi. I think so. Still sniffing that. Yeah, well, I would be careful about the counter trend trades here because we're going to see a lot of absorption anyways, right? Whenever we see a lot of absorption, we want to think, okay, maybe it'll reverse here, right? But given the action and the situation, that's something that we have to discount significantly. What I think we really need to see for me to want to get a reversal is some sort of true exhaustion. You know what I mean? Like it falls down and it goes down several ticks without much volume at all, and then it stops for no reason, signifying that the sellers have no more to sell. I think that would be a better probability trade than trying to go off of any of the icebergs, because they're likely to iceberg almost every step down here. I mean, honestly, they iceberged almost every step up at the top. And the action has been sell all week, and for all we know, this is China, and they can sell, you know, way more than they have. So, okay, so 24.5 did not trade that much. Mm, 21.72 isn't bad, I guess, but in my opinion, needs ES pushing in USD recovery. Well, yep, it went. So, my bird. You guys probably can't hear that weird sound. Yeah, I do say it was a good job, Uzi, about just holding to it and getting out when it went down the two. See, there's this iceberg at 24. When it came down here, I want to see. Like, yeah, there was some absorption at 29. And then there was some absorption at 28.5. And then here is where it broke, and then we came into this again. And now it's kind of doing a similar thing. Like they broke 24. A few contracts traded there, but now it's absorbing at 24 again. So they might have to do a similar sort of a thing, you know? Absorption all the way through here, and then they drop down for another, I don't know. I don't know. You know what? When we came down here, I was kind of tempted to trade. This is a similar. I was tempted to do it with my live one, but then I said, no, you know what? It's Friday, and given everything else, I don't think I should take it. But now I'm kind of sitting here going, I should have done it live. I don't know if I'm going to get any more than this, but this sure seems like something with the potential to move. So did yesterday's, but you know what? This is a lot like yesterday's, in fact, now that I think about it. Haven't lost face and then a long down here. Maybe below 23. Eric K just says he would go long here too. So I don't understand. See, from my perspective, this is just my crazy mind, okay? But in Seth's mind, China is selling this, and if China is selling this, I don't want to buy it. That's what I'm thinking. I feel stupid. I put a limit to get out about 30 seconds before I move further down. You had that from the 29 or whatever, the short that you had earlier? Well, I think if you had gotten out anyway, I only like to get one swing, you know. So when it came down here like this and then it absorbed, I would take it off. I need to see something really strong that makes me think that they're not going to come back at all for me to want to stay in one. Now on this one, it hasn't seemed to reach the next balance level yet. Someone is waiting hard for a break at 25 and 24 in ZV. You think so? You mean that liquidity down there? Yeah, well look, So now that we kind of have everything in context, I can see here was ZB pushing it up. Now on the downside, they're pushing it down. And then the 5-year, that ended up pushing down for a break. But I'm still sim. That's okay. It just depends on how long you want to be in, right? If you only want to be in 30 minutes, then there's no shame in taking that off. Okay. So strong downtick. They're hitting back into a hard. Yeah. That 20, see, if it had come down, you know, so when it downticks and you got a strong tick, that's a sign that he's trying to push it down further. And I've found that they often don't do that unless they think that it's running out of steam. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get as many people to go in here down at the bottom so that they can try and get out. So we got a downtick, and that was possibly one like that. But then somebody bought into that. So now that just gives them fuel to go, okay, then I will try and stop you out too. And the E-mini is still creeping up. This rally in the E-mini, even though it's only like 10 points, is quite something else. It's just slowly but surely pushing up. Okay, now they push down. Should have sold 5s. Yeah. Or okay, so big absorption at 22. I actually think that they might go through that one too. No, come on. Well, somebody just decided they're just going to buy it there. Down to 400 offered. 1,000. 5 years still pushing down. Resetting dawn. He's hitting into 22 now. So whoever bid there at 22 pulled it. Well, it was only 7. Oh, yeah, 719 pulled. He actually got filled some. So I think this might actually even have more than that. Now it's getting real, says Izzy. This kind of just looks to me like something with that people are foolishly trying to fade, and that just gives the seller just goes, okay, fine, then I'll stop you out too. These, as long as you're getting rotation, that keeps it going. So a better signal is to see it go down several ticks and just stop for no reason. And then it ticks up. And then it ticks up again, and then maybe you start seeing some guys stepping in. But this right here, guy stepping in to try and reverse it like that, no. Because the seller is big, he can push it if he wants. And the E-mini is in going the right direction too. The E-mini is really starting to go, in fact. Where can the E-mini go to? Oh boy. Yesterday's high? 30, 15, 25? Okay, well, they're showing me there's some distribution going on here, so I'm going to try and get filled at 21F, even though I think that there could be potential for more, but because it's 8, looking for 8, and there's just enough sign of distribution and stuff here to make me think that I should get out here. Probably going to regret doing this. See, he's pulling it. Okay. Yeah, I did the right thing. The price, there was no reason for 21.5 to be pulling to 500. And then when they did hit it, they hit 10,000. He was luring to try and get filled because he knows he's distribution. So I did the right thing. Hmm. Hmm. And also the 30-year is telling me to get out. I'm still sitting here saying I could have been live. Could have done it. Like, I felt really confident on that trade, and I don't think it ever went against me, did it? Where's my? Oh, you know what? I hate that. For some reason, OBS is always on top, and I can't find the setting to turn it off. No, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Okay, so... Oh, it says that it went 2 against me? I could have taken 26? That's okay. 8 ticks is still good. That was the best trade we've gotten. I mean, that's really the only good trade we've gotten all week. But, you know, $125 that I could have put into my account. I felt confident about that. Only because they tried level breaking on the upside and failed, and then the downside pressure, it's to the down, and they have so much room. Well, you know what? I got that really good because I got out at 21.5, and look, now they're trying to take 22.5 bid. How's your live account looking right now? Well, so like I said, I had, you know, I had a decent amount in there, and I made about, well, I had some crazy days. I had one day where I made $250 in one day. I had actually a number of days that was like that, but then I had one day where I lost 500, and then I kind of backed off. I was like, this market is clearly not my market. So I stopped trading it. And I've been waiting. This has been an opportunity. Next week, maybe I will trade it. If we start getting those FOMC trends, then for sure I could trade that because those are great. But I'm still a little... So I know that I tend to do better December and then through the beginning of the year. So I'm trying to save myself as much room as I can for that time, if that makes sense. But I would have liked to have made that 125. That would have really helped. It's still a tiny, tiny account, right? Okay, I will be right back. Okay, let's see here. Now, Peter covered it too. Well, I feel like that the way that this is all set up, that you could still take shorts potentially, or at very least I would prefer shorts, but after a move like that on a Friday, I would be really hesitant to put risk on at this point, right? Because a lot of the big players take their money and go away. And there's probably not as much opportunity going. But and not only that, but there could be some big opportunity next week with the Federal Reserve and all that. So that feels good. One trade, and it was a good one. So you prefer trading obvious trend days? Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done good on trend days, generally speaking. But, I mean, I like it to be moving. Those days like we've been having recently, or they don't really have much of a reason to trade it, and it just kind of ranges, those are the worst for me. I have like zero edge in those kinds of situations. It just does not do anything. You know? Hey, Algo Lover. So, we're still not to Algo Lover's target. That's the funny thing. But maybe we would get there next week. Ball's paying off for longs down there, yeah. Wait, did you take one down at the 22? Did you catch it? Well, you probably wouldn't have caught it at 22 because only 3 went through. 38 went through there, but maybe 23. Did you take 23? That's not bad. 8 ticks on the backwash. Oh, okay. Not 22, but 24. And then out at evens. Good job. The way that the amount that it's come back there and the way that 5-year is pushing it now. I don't know. I wonder if the seller is going to try and move it down again. But did you see how it was kind of like it wasn't a big iceberg down at the bottom that you wanted to. Well, there was one at 22, but it was at 21.5 where they didn't really hit that aggressively. That it was kind of a better signal for a reversal. Each time down, they rip butt in front of target. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I think what Algo Lover is saying is that it's been like, it'll be like a slow move down and a little bit of gappiness. And then when it comes back up, it comes back up so quickly. Above 29.94 targets 30.20. There you go. That's, yeah. I like that one. Although they kind of, well, they're about five points short of that. They had trouble. Did they make it over? No, they didn't. They didn't make it over previous day's high. I don't think that ES is done yet. That's why shirts will start looking good here again soon. Yeah. It's like, I feel like that came back a little bit too quickly. I mean, that was traders, I guess. But look, the cumulative delta still as low as ever. So maybe the seller's still there. Like, I really think if we're right and this is like China or some other country, he doesn't care. Like, if you guys buy it up, that's great. Cool. Better price for me to sell at. But either way, he's just going to steady sell it. You know? So you just kind of wait for it to pop back up, get slow, and then sell it down again. If I see a level 2 spike, though, on the upside, I don't necessarily want to play those. Those haven't been reliable. Maybe 26. All these dopey sessions have been the same thing. Draw the range one way or another and rotate back. Yeah. Although the downside moves have been a lot better. Who is he? He is, we believe, China. I believe that a large country of some sort is selling the treasuries. I don't have anything to back that up. There's a big seller this week. And there have been some people like I think for every, well, what was it that Peter said? You know, for every treasury that China is selling, Japan is probably buying one. That's probably true. But it seems like that the seller still wants to get rid of it. So you're getting this situation where you'll see pushes, buying pushes that look really, really amazing. And like the one that we took yesterday. But in the end, the seller is just bigger. Which is like crazy to think about. But that's what's been happening. That's just what's been happening. Now when we get to FOMC next week, maybe then it can start to really move. But for now, I think what's happening is you got these guys that are so big, and then you've got all of the retail guys involved in it too. So when we retail guys take our trade off, it just comes all the way back, and then the seller goes like, hey, let's start selling it again. Anyways. Type ticks before when I meant points. 4 points short, 6.5 on the day. Points in ES though? Yeah, whatever. Good job. I did okay. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, I am missing something. Okay. Yes. Gotta post the notes. Do you think retail is significant? Well, I think I don't want to say I shouldn't have said retail. I think that the market makers coming off can make that kind of a thing. And that's not even necessarily just us. I mean, that probably includes all the robots and stuff too. But we kind of fall into the same category of trader in that kind of situation, right? Lucas, I wanted to buy 22. I was so ready, all pointed towards some nice backticks. You had actually identified that area a bit ahead of time, huh? Or was it because of the iceberg there? I don't know. See, for me, seeing the volume there didn't faze me. Seeing it pull at 21.5 kind of made me a little bit concerned, but the real reason that I took it off was because the E-mini looked done. And I said, well, if the E-mini is going to turn around, we could get a pullback. That's why I took it. That was a trade the day missed it, so I don't hope to find another. Yeah, exactly, Lucas. So smart. Listen, you're learning. This took me the longest time, and I still screw up with it. Guys, if it's Friday and you get an amazing trade like that, I know that the tendency is, hey, we might see other big moves, and there's going to be some other big opportunities. No. No. That was a big move. A lot of people made money on that move. They are going home and celebrating for the weekend. Opportunity from here on out is significantly less. They might still continue selling it all the way into the close. But if you made money or you missed it, it's, you know, the further on this goes, the harder it's going to get. Now today is going to be a little weird because these guys are going to be interested in it until the options pit close, right? And until the options pit close, these guys have interest in it. But even if it keeps moving, it's going to be a lot harder from here. So I would not necessarily recommend trading it. Anyways. Images. I just love the feeling of these keys, guys. Just consider the odds of extending the range. I don't know. What do you think the odds are of like what is a percentage chance that it extends the range? I think that there's a 40% chance that they extend the range. Maybe 30 to 40% chance. Does ZB have the juice to break a new high? I don't know. I think that if it started getting anywhere even close to 28, that the seller would step in and start selling it again. Friday, publish now. Shorts who pushed that made money. Longs that jumped between 22 and 25 made money. Losers will sit around hoping something else happens on a Friday. Exactly, Lucas. I have my doubts too. I think you put it way better. I like the way that you put that instead of my explanation was kind of lame. I have my doubts too, which is why I think sells will look better and better the closer we get to it. 04 is the overnight point of control and a little bit of congestion. That's interesting. I mean, the thing is that big seller, when you consider how much he's sold, I mean, it's not like he took it off there. That wasn't nearly enough. That was just the market makers took it off, I think. Big seller, he probably still out there saying, okay, well, maybe I'll take a little bit of 26. Maybe I'll take a little bit. I don't know. Anyways, next week, FOMC. Could be a fun week, so I'll see you guys then. Should have a video on Monday. Pretty, well, it's a video that we've talked about on here before, but I think it should be a good video, so it'll be a video that I hope a lot of people watch because there's some really useful information in there. So I will see you guys then, and in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.